Hello there, Francis. Please tell me who referred you to me, okay? Because I refer a lot of people to other people, and it's extremely irritating when they don't say thank you. So I want to say thanks to your friend who sent you to me, okay? Let's have a look. The issue of, The issue of transition from traditional education to alternative schooling has grown in importance since the advent of the education revolution over the past few decades. What education revolution? I strongly believe that with the methods of teaching our contemporary education offers, it needs a good makeover. Okay. So I would have gone subject, verb, object, and I'd have gone, I strongly believe that the methods of our contemporary education needs a good makeover. Okay. Sorry, actually, so the structure was fine, okay, but we just put one preposition in there that just threw me off a little bit. Okay, so I strongly believe that the methods of our contemporary education needs a good makeover. Okay, change that, and then we're cooking with gas, we're golden. This essay will discuss issues using these issues, okay, because then I know that you're referring to these, okay? Using examples from Australia and the US to demonstrate points and support arguments. You can't mess support an argument. I would have said arguments, okay? Because it's just easier to follow. If you're going to use different examples, then yeah, and I think it introduces a tiny bit of parallelism as well. You've got plural here, so why not have plural there? Okay? And plus it sounds a little bit more general as well, support arguments, okay? So just bear that in mind the next time you're going to use that copy-paste sentence, okay? Education innovators nowadays are creating new types of alternatives to traditional education which involve a more interactive and student-centered approach such as homeschooling, online education, and distance learning. Full stop. Okay, that would have been perfect. And can you see how that would have been parallel as well? Homeschooling, online education, distance learning, bang, full stop, perfect. And wonderful way to squeeze in some topic-specific vocabulary there using the list. Well done, Francis. These learning programs are known to be an effective strategy to meet the needs of students because they usually emphasize small class sizes and a close relationship between students and teachers. For instance, a recent study in Australia shows that approximately 80% of high school students enrolled in distance learning programs increased their interest and achievement in school and are more motivated to enter higher education. Genius! Thus, the flexibility, environment, and the length of class makes alternative schooling a better option. Makes alternative school. I wonder if there's a better way we could have said this. Okay. Superior option, more advantageous option, more beneficial option. Okay. Because, well, like you've probably heard me before, using words like good, bad, big, small, do, be. Okay, basic vocabulary. I don't know, better isn't good, but it's the superlative of good, as you probably know. So what else could we've used? And yeah, so add that to your essay checklist, okay? When you're going through, see if there's any way you could improve the vocabulary, okay? Anyway, whereas traditional education, I wouldn't have started there, I'd have just gone secondly, okay? Secondly, traditional education as compared to student-focused learning this is singular, okay? Oof, 2 mistakes, quite a few mistakes, singular, plural, so make sure that's under control as well. Add that to your error list, eh? Let's see. Student-focused learner is teacher-centered, wherein the teacher talks to the student instead of encouraging them to interact and ask questions. Instead of? Wouldn't that be... I would have said as well as. Okay? Long lectures and little interaction in the classroom usually leaves... okay, now I get you. Talks at the student. I see. Okay, here I would have possibly mentioned the lecture format at the beginning, just so there wouldn't have been any confusion with this one. Okay, and the problem with this is there's 2 comparisons. Okay, secondary traditional education is teacher-centered wherein the teachers talk at the student instead of encouraging them, talks at the student in a lecture style format instead of encouraging them to interact and ask questions. Okay, and there I just did away with the comparisons because there's two comparisons. Okay, and secondly, I just wanted to go for clarity. Long lectures and little interaction in the classroom usually leaves students less attentive and less engaged. Okay, for example, research in the US shows that 70% of students find public school lectures boring and would rather skip classes and miss their lessons. Therefore, this method of teaching may contribute to poor classroom performance and low grades. Good. To conclude, from the examples and arguments given, alternative schooling has improved learning considerably and increased interactivity. Students taught in modern teaching methods perform better academically, and I suggest that our traditional education system adopt these methodologies. Yeah, or needs to be improved is also okay. Excellent work there, Francis. Wow, what a genius. Wonderful structure. Let's go. The pie chart shows the percentage of the percentage on how certain regions in the UK allocate their expenses on education, community care, social service, environment and leisure, and others in 2014. Very good, very good. Perhaps I would have, yeah, maybe I'd have just deleted others, or even just put it in like inverted commas, yeah, because then I know that you're referring to the category others rather than it being a grammar mistake. Okay. So, in terms of education expenses, we can see that both Yorkshire and Lancashire spent equally at 30%, whereas Derbyshire spent only 25%. Wow! Wonderful, wonderful, buddy. However, Derbyshire used up to 35% on leisure. I would have loved to have seen allocated. Allocated would have been the perfect verb here. Allocate. Okay, however, Derbyshire used up to 35% on leisure compared to 30% in Lancashire and 20% in Yorkshire. Wonderful comparison. In community care, Derbyshire likewise. In community care, Derbyshire and Yorkshire spent a similar amount, reaching 20%, while Lancashire spent not more than 10%. Very good. When it comes to environment expenditure, the three regions spent a similar fashion between 10 and 15%. For social services, Yorkshire disperses 15%, Lancashire 10%, and as little as 3% for Derbyshire. For other expenses, the three regions spent practically identical amounts at, or spent practically identically. Now that sounds horrible. It sounds really ugly. Spent practically equal amounts at 10% each. Good, very good. If you wanted to improve that, I would have squeezed in a. I would have squeezed in a respectively sentence. Okay. Yeah, and that would have made it a little bit better. Overall, the most distinct feature of the pie charts presents that the three regions spent more on education and leisure, and they spent less on social services. Very good. That is wonderful work there. Okay, Francis. Now, if you want to carry on writing essays and carry on getting feedback, that's perfectly okay. There is another pack available for students like yourself who love improving and love getting feedback. And it's a special offer for students who have done the sentence guide, and it's mainly just focusing on improving and perfecting. Okay, it's just another pack, but we can focus on doing on implementing higher level writing, such as the parallelism and stuff like that. Also, if you have a look at it, if you get it, I'll give you a free upgrade to the online sentence guide, where you've got the video modules, and you've got a whole video course for academic task 1 and all the video modules for sentence guide as well, for the sentence guide. So have a look at those links, and then let me know what you think. Okay, buddy? Take care, Francis, and remember to tell me who referred you. Okay, I'd love to send them a big thank you. All the best, buddy.